Conservatism, as the name implies, attempts to preserve traditional values in Western culture. Conservatives typically promote the nuclear family, organized religion, the military, and property rights. Liberalism is often considered the dominant ideology in modern history. It emphasizes individual rights, government approval by the people, and equal treatment under the law. Liberals promote for free markets, multi-party elections, separation of powers, the separation of religion from government, constitutional fundamental values, privacy rights, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly, and freedom of religion. Moderatism seeks to remain within the Overton window, the range of policies deemed acceptable by the mainstream population. Moderates are often apolitical, meaning they may not be deeply invested in politics, but possess some political awareness. Capitalism is an economic system centered on the private ownership of the means of production and their operation for profit. Its key characteristics include private property, free exchange, competition, division of labor, and social cooperation. Socialism encompasses various types, making it an umbrella term. Traditionally, socialism refers to worker-owned means of production, strongly supporting worker coups, democratic self-management, and workplace democracy. In the modern era, socialism advocates for workers' democratic self-management, high taxation on the wealthy, and the nationalization of key industries. One of its core values is social ownership. Syndicalism, a follow-on of socialism, advocates for the unionization of the workforce and the formation of local decentralized revolutionary worker organizations known as syndicates. It promotes advancing workers' demands through strikes and direct action as the best means to achieve a socialist society. Once a post-capitalist society is established, a congress or commune of syndicates would be created to represent the various unions or sectors of the economy within a central government. Corporatism advocates for organizing society into various sectors of employment, such as agriculture, military, and engineering, assigning individuals based on their interests and skills. It supports a cross-class system of regulation, where workers, employers, and the state negotiate to efficiently run the economy and theoretically satisfy all parties involved. This concept should not be confused with a political system dominated by large business interests. Libertarianism prioritizes liberty as a core value, aiming to maximize autonomy and political freedom. It advocates for a very limited government and supports liberal principles such as equality before the law and the basic rights to life, liberty, and property. Separatism, also known as secessionism, aims to establish a new nation, country, sovereign state, or government independent from an existing nation. Communism revolves around the collective ownership of the means of production, distribution, and exchange, distributing goods and services based on societal needs. In a communist society, there is no private property, social classes, money, or state apparatus. Feminism seeks to achieve political, economic, personal, and social equality between genders. It asserts that societies often prioritize the male perspective, leading to unjust treatment of women. Efforts within feminism aim to challenge gender stereotypes and enhance educational and professional opportunities for women. Anarchism advocates for a society without rulers or constituted authority, emphasizing freedom as a central principle. It promotes replacing the state with stateless societies based on voluntary cooperation. Environmentalism, also known as green politics, encompasses various ideologies advocating that nature should play a crucial role in shaping public policy. This includes initiatives such as increasing recycling, reducing CO2 emissions, and preventing water pollution. Populism centers on appealing to a broad swath of people and their concerns, asserting that the desires of the masses should dictate policy. It manifests in various forms, but is defined by its grassroots origins and lack of strict political allegiance. Often associated with democracies, populism relies heavily on popular backing, often pitting the general populace against the elite. It tends to be anti-establishment and critical of traditional political systems. Republicanism is an ideology focused on a non-hereditary system of government, contrasting with monarchism, where political power is vested in citizens within a republic. Progressivism asserts that traditions rooted in the past should not be revered as sacred and should instead be considered less significant than societal advancement. It stands in contrast to traditionalism. Imperialism advocates for a country expanding its power or influence through military means. Once popular, it was akin to moderatism, but has declined in favor over time. Imperialism is characterized by its advocacy of war and belief in stronger nations ruling over weaker ones. Proponents defend it against accusations of oppression by arguing that colonized peoples benefit from assistance and resources provided by wealthier nations. Egalitarianism is a philosophical perspective that emphasizes social equality, advocating for equal rights and fair treatment for all individuals within a state. Transhumanism advocates for the enhancement of humanity through technology, aiming to overcome both fundamental and intricate challenges faced by humanity. Its ultimate goal is for individuals to achieve immortality and possess highly advanced minds and bodies. Communitarianism is an ideology that prioritizes the well-being and significance of the community as the fundamental social unit. It critiques the traditional left-right political divide, arguing that both sides' policies are complementary and necessary to benefit society. It contends that excessive individualism is detrimental when it conflicts with the common good. Authoritarianism is a type of government marked by centralized power that requires obedience to authority and restricts political and civil liberties. Classic monarchies exemplify authoritarianism, where rulers in such systems often imprison and persecute their opponents. Fascism asserts that people are individually weak but strong when united under a common banner, whether it's a state, nation, or military. It is characterized by authoritarianism, where a controlling government rejects multi-party voting. Fascism centers on a strong central power, typically led by a dictator, and opposes the separation of powers. It also embraces ultranationalism, prioritizing national interests over others, and often aligning with militarism to expand those interests. Fascism uses forceful methods to suppress opposition, promotes a natural social hierarchy, and advocates sacrificing individual interests for the perceived benefit of the nation or race. Nazism, a variant of fascism, is characterized by its racist ideology that promotes the superiority of the Aryan race. It advocates for Aryan dominance over other races to improve the world, reflecting its ultranationalist stance. According to Nazi beliefs, Aryans are defined as white, heterosexual, mentally and physically fit, non-cowardly, and non-Jewish. Those deemed non-Aryan are labeled as Untermensch, or subhuman. Nazism also embraces eugenics, aiming to enhance the genetic quality of the human population. Individuals with hereditary disabilities were considered useless eaters and were often killed or sent to camps as they were seen as unworthy of life. Nazism also targeted homosexuals, viewing them similarly as unworthy.